Guys, it's me, Raven, and I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the Amazing Digital Circus episode 9 and what I think about it lore-wise as well. Disclaimer before we start, I will be talking about episode 9 as if you've already seen it. If you haven't, click off this video now and go watch it. Please and thank you. You will get spoiled if you continue from this point if you haven't watched it yet. You have been warned. Okay, first off, my thoughts on Jackson's abstraction. I love the detail of Pomni going into Jax's mind and learning why he's like this and what he's been struggling with deep down. It it was sad, yes, I cried, but who didn't get emotional during that part? The whole memory part broke me because it was technically saying that, oh, Jax is dead, let's go down memory lane to memorialize him. I love the whole entire scene with the doors and the different scenarios of the others abstracting and what his reaction would be. But the one with Ragatha and where he starts strangling Tommy scared me to death. I went to the theaters to watch it, and since I did that, I watched it twice. Once in the movie theaters and then the second time as the premiere. And I realized that the second time I watched it as in the premiere, I missed a lot of stuff with Jackson Ribbit and all that stuff because all my mind was set on was how Jax abstracted and how the cast reaction to it. Overall, it was a really thought out idea and a good idea with like the whole Pomni getting into his mind and like we're seeing how his backstory went before like he was in the circus. And then I also really liked that we got to see Ribbit and Gangle's room this episode. Now, moving on, since we were talking about Ribbit and Kaufmo and all that stuff with Jax, I think we should talk about that now. I've seen a lot of people really stoked about like Kaufmo's voice and how it will sound because but not Ribbit as much because we heard it in the trailer. But I'm not really sure why, and I'm not sure I really get it because I personally thought Kaufmo's voice was eh. I really thought the whole interaction with Jax and Kaufmo and all that stuff was really frail from the beginning. Like, what I personally think are headcanon, I'm not sure this is really a headcanon, but y'all can correct me in the comments. And is that Ribbit was friends with Jax before Kaufmo joined the circus? But it might be vice versa because I don't remember who was in the circus first, Kaufmo or Jax. So yeah, answer me in the comments. Like Jax and Ribbit were friends first, and then when Kaufmo came along, I think that Ribbit was trying to get Jax and Kaufmo to be friends, but I don't think it really worked out at first, but I think they got it working out in the end. But I'm not really sure how it fell out, because, I'm not really sure how Kaufmo and Jax's relationship fell out, or how Ribbit's and Jax's relationship fell out as well. Whenever Kaufmo said that he found something and Jax panicked with the bow on his ear and all that stuff.
Congratulations, all of my friends. Public relations are getting a cleanse. Put on your Sunday best because I know we're close to
but I'm not sure what actually led to him saying, like, if you ever speak of this again, we're never gonna talk again. Editor me can put that in.
All right. So, if you ever tell anyone about this, I'm never speaking to you again. Sound good?
Yeah, I won't.
Awesome. Bye.
And I don't know. Anyways, um, yeah. Now let's just move on from all that confusing stuff, and let's talk about Kane and that whole scene with him in the void, because we can't miss that part. Um, I really liked his character development in this episode. Like, I love that he was like became aware of his problems, because like at first he was like, they deleted me. It's all their fault.
They tried to delete me. They're in the wrong, right?
Then he was like, I made them do this. This was my doing.
Responsible. I turned them against me. And
And also, it was placed in a good part in the episode where emotional people like me got a break from all the like sad stuff that was happening. And like, I really liked where he looked at Bubble, like the faceless Bubble that was beside him, as if it was a mirror. Because technically it was. Because Bubble wasn't there. I don't know what happened to Bubble, but yeah. Which then me and my partner found out um that Bubble was actually part of the blue AI that Kane got rid of out of jealousy in the beginning of episode 8. And I really love the part where we got to see the creation of Scratch getting put into the circus, because that is how he learned to be like, oh, I can actually have real people in my circus, so it's just not here. So, then he started to create people. And then, also, when I loved when he was among, like, he was starting to be among the human cast instead of against them. And then I also really like the part where, or like the whole thing of it, but specifically that he was willing to take ideas instead of just reluctantly using the suggestion box like in past episodes, and actually asking for permission instead of anything else. And I love that he actually fulfilled all of them. Even Zubal's even Zubal's request. Anyways, speaking of Zubal's request, let's talk about Abstragedy being canon. If you don't know, Abstragedy is Gangle and Zubal Gangle X Zooble. That's their ship name. And oh my gosh, I love that it is. Ah, I'm so happy that it is. I always loved just to pause through all the episodes every time I rewatched it and just squeal about the lesbians. Cause and it was always so fun to watch how Zubul got more protective of Gangle over the whole season, and then and how Gangle was always by Zubul's side in most of the scenes where they were in the circus tent, and always like concerned every time something goes wrong, which is really cute. Sorry. Um, um, in episode 7, I loved that Gangle wanted to contribute with beating the watermelon that had Jax's face on it from Zooble, and it really just showed that she's actually happy with like Zooble and not just trying to be nice. Because anyways, um and I think that she's really glad to have Zooble to not just be her friend, but like also be her protector, and like how I wrote it in the script that I made. I said I'm so happy that Gangle is happier in the circus now that she has Zooble to save her comedy mask, but I've been kind of going off script a bit, so hee hee. And what I wonder about Gangle, I wonder what she would want her name to be if it wasn't if Jax didn't choose her name. I'm I really loved the ending. I'm so glad that it wasn't just all depressing and they didn't just all abstract and just be miserable, but instead we got to learn about their real life selves, and like how their real names and like how they were doing in the real world. And it was genuinely the bestest ending that we could have got, got. And yes, Jax did abstract, but at least he wasn't put into the cellar and forgotten in it. Because yes, he's if Kane did that, he would be with Ribbit and Kaufmo and all his other friends. But it was a long journey to this point at the end, but at least it was the best journey we all could have asked for. And as a lot of people quote, don't cry because it's over, smile because because it happened. And it gets really emotional because one, the plot of the episode, two, because everyone here has experienced so much, like they were in the cast and they were in the circus, and the same thing happened with Murder Drones. It became really depressing after episode 8 because it was over. Because it was over, and it just well, everything has to come to an end sometimes. Nothing can be continuing on for a long time. And all I just wanted to say is thank you, Gooseworks, for working on this, and thank you, Glitch Team, for bringing this to YouTube. and letting a whole community come together. No, let's not say that. And just be a fandom.